How did the idea for founding BigID come about? It was like a gap analysis that you did with your co-founders, or
Yeah,
it just came.
So I'm not an accountant, and I'm not a business school grad. I studied physics, and I wasn't very good. That's why I'm not a physicist. So look, I think here's a few observations we made. And again, my co-founder, I sold my second company, an API security company, to CA, so I could move to New York. I was living in New York. My co-founder lived in Boston, but I worked with him. And so we had discussed what does these new privacy regulations, how does that change the game? And what we realized is there wasn't really a good technology to protect personal information. Now, privacy is a lot of things. It's not one thing. There's a legal aspect to it. There's consent. There's preference management. But we were really focusing on the security dimension of protecting personal information. And what we realized is the technology to find and secure personal information hadn't really changed since 2003, since basically the first regulation around payment card information, PCI. And so out of that came a whole number of companies in the DLP space, like Vontu, which became Semantics DLP. And so what we realized is that the world had changed. When Semantics started with PCI DLP, everything was in the data center. Fast forward to 2016, everything was a lot in the cloud. On top of that, it wasn't just structured or unstructured data. If you think about it like an S3 object store, it's kind of like a little bit of everything. And so you needed a new kind of technology. And usually regulations are very crystallizing when it comes to creating a catalyzing event in terms of a new technology. So we thought the fact that people are going to have budget set aside, line items, you say in English, and the fact that it required this new dimension of being cloud native, of being able to find all kinds of personal information, not just an address and a name and a credit card, but anything, an IP address, a cookie, a session key. And so that was the genesis. That was the gap analysis.